Hey everybody, Haig here from Co-op. Happy Sunday. We're really excited. We'll be having Aline Kamakian join us today live from Beirut. Aline is the owner of Mayrig and Batchig restaurants in Beirut. Mayrig also has a location in Yerevan. Aline has become one of the heroes of Beirut. Her restaurant was completely destroyed and her staff completely affected. So, she's busy heading up humanitarian efforts and feeding those most vulnerable in Beirut. And we're honored to have her with us today. I could see that she just joined the room, and I should be getting her in any second now. Aline,
Hey, hey, Lavishak.
love to Besses.
Wonderful.
You know what? Thank you for joining us today. We're going to mix Armenian and English. Aline was texting me earlier saying English, Armenian. I said, let's mix it up. Aline, գիտեմ որ շատ զբաղված ես, շատ բավական հոգնած ես, վստահ եմ ամեն ինչով որ գնաս հիմա Բեյրութ եւ շատ ուրախ ենք եւ որ միացար մեզի այսօր, որովհետեւ we believe in having a global community of prominent and successful Armenians to talk about what's going on. And I think whatever you watch on the news, it's completely different than when you hear a first-hand account of somebody like you on the ground in Beirut, so involved with helping others. So thank you for joining us and for raising awareness on what's going on in Beirut.
Thank you. Thank you for thinking of me.
Նախ եւ առաջ ինչպես կսկաս որ գիտեմ որ դժբախտաբար ագանչդ վնասված է լուսողությունդ վնասված է. How are you feeling on a personal note?
Well, I find a new job for my right ear. Microphone gashkhadi, so it's the microphone. So
Okay.
till now I can't hear from my right ear. But the doctors told me that I will be able to catch up with 30%, and then they will put a listening machine on it. So it's not bad. I had 2 codes broken. Now it's much better. It's been a month now.
Yeah.
And my knee, I need to do an operation for my knee, but it's okay. We are happy that we are alive.
So for all our viewers today, I just gave an introduction to Aline before she joined us. Aline is born and raised in Beirut. She's the owner of Mayrig Restaurant and Batchig Restaurant, both located in Beirut. She also has a Mayrig Restaurant in Yerevan, which I'm a huge patron of when I'm in Armenia, stuffing my face there. The bottom line is, Aline, I'm just going to give a little introduction and then we'll get into the interview. Aline's restaurant, Mayrig, has been completely devastated and destroyed during the explosion a month ago. And the restaurant is located, if I'm not mistaken, in the Marmakhal Jemezi area of Beirut, which has been completely devastated. It's one of my favorite neighborhoods in Beirut. Very eclectic, very artsy, great restaurants, bars. And, as a son of, Armenians from Beirut myself, it's truly, truly devastating to see what happened. And I think it's so important to raise awareness even a month after, because what happens oftentimes with these kinds of disasters is you see it and then you forget what's going on, but the repercussions that you're all living through in the month that's been leading up, in the months that are going to lead up from this disaster are crazy. So, Aline, please explain to us and where you were at the time. I know, but I want you to tell our viewers if I'm not mistaken, during the explosion, obviously because you were injured, you were at Mayrig restaurant.
Hi, look, Mayrig restaurant, my office is just next to Mayrig restaurant, okay? It's on the 3rd floor. In front of me, there is nothing. I have a terrace on my office. Then there is the highway. Then there is the explosion. So it's only 400 square meter away, like 3 to 4 seconds of bird fly. We had a management meeting. So all my management were at my office. The first explosion, I went out. I saw it. I called the firefighting. We were all out. And then we came in. And then we were continuing our meeting when the second explosion came up. And there was like a small baitotik.
Explosion.
No, baitotik ner bizdik pun.
Oh, like firecracker sounds.
Firecrackers, exactly. So I took my phone and got out. My team were telling me, stay here now. You will have something on your face. You don't go there. Don't do your crazy things as usual. For once, my crazy thing saved me. I was out. I have a barrel of water in front of me. I put my hand on it and I was filming. There's nothing. Then the third explosion came out, the big one.
The gigantic, yeah.
Yeah. Apparently, I went down like this. I was hiding behind the water tank as if it was a huge earthquake. Something like suck you up. And then a very hot wind, I like your skin is burned that much hot. I was very near. So I didn't know what happened. I thought I got exploded. And I turned, I saw my assistant all in blood. I came to him, I said, I was looking, it was small things. And he said, I can't hear you. He said, it's okay, you're okay now. I went inside and my team were all heavily wounded. My financial controller was the most. I started to work on him. I started CPR. Then I stopped the bleeding that he has on his right hand. His finger were all out. His eyes were out. It was really, really very devastating thing. Everybody was wounded. My assistant was, my operation manager was all cut here. His hand were broken, completely broken. You see the hand like this. So once I brought back my financial controller, my accountant were also wounded, but he helped. Brought him down, and 3 floors going down, 3 floors hike. It was the worst I can do. It was all the stairs were filled with aluminum, false ceiling, glasses, a lot of things. It was very difficult to go down. I brought him down, then I came up to brought the others down. When I arrived down, that was the worst thing. I thought when I'm down, I will be able to call an ambulance. My Riggs team will help me up. I didn't know what happened.
Yeah.
You know, it's the worst Hollywood movie, the worst, the apocalypse now. It wasn't like this. It was like you had all the trees were out, building fell down, everybody was in blood.
Yeah.
It was dusty. It was chaotic. Alarm. The car alarms were all out, and it was like I don't know how to explain. You know, like everybody's lost. Everybody's not understanding everything. Everybody's holding someone wounded, taking it. I found a motorcycle guy who was searching for his brother. I begged him to take my financial control. I literally begged him, and then I went to Mayrig and I saw everyone, and one was all cut like this. So also we managed to put him on another motorcycle to take him to the hospital. one of my waiter lost his fingers, so I had to search for these fingers, put it in
Oh
an
my
ice
God.
closet. It was, I'm sorry for the details, but
No, it's important that people realize the magnitude of the horror.
it is really, from the second of the explosion till date, I didn't have 1 second of calma or think about or having, sorry for the word, the luxury to do a depression or to cry.
So I want to talk about that, if you don't mind. You know, there's a lot of people, and to our viewers, you know, Aline's story has been featured in Elle Magazine, LA Times, so many publications in the last month as one of the heroes of Beirut. And she's also been featured by AGBU and a bunch of the different Armenian organizations that she's been active with. But what's important, Aline, is, you know, it says a lot about your personality and what you stand for, because somebody could take this kind of tragedy and horror and trauma and say, why me? Why my restaurant? And not do anything about it. But, you know, it speaks volumes about who you are as a person, because you have risen from the ashes and you have decided to make a difference and help your fellow Lebanese people. And I want to talk about that right now, about the aftermath. Because I don't think you've really had a chance to sit there and wallow in your pain and your suffering. Instead, you're thinking about other people. And I'm going to let you talk about it because I know the figures and I know the numbers, but I want you to tell our viewers, guys, you know, immediately, Aline, if I'm not mistaken, paired up with an international organization to start feeding the most vulnerable families and individuals. And it started off with sandwiches that she was making at her second location, Batchig restaurant. And it now became a hot meals thing. And if I'm not mistaken, you've fed up to 65,000 people in the last month. And I'm going to shut up and let you do your, tell me the figures and the statistics. But I think, bravo Kezivor, as tishpachtutenen, yev as tzaven, yev vishten, ուրիշներուն գոքնես. So խնդրեմ մեզի բացմե how that came about and what you've been doing as far as feeding the most vulnerable in Beirut.
Look, Arachinora, what we had is like until 4 a.m., if I'm not mistaken. The thing happened at 6. 4:30, I finished the hospitals because I put 25 of my team in the hospitals. And it was really a challenge to find hospitals and to put in hospitals because main 2 hospitals were in Beirut were gone. So you had to go other hospitals. So at 4:30 a.m., I was able to everyone to be at the hospitals and to do the first whatever we need to do at the hospitals.
Yeah.
So the second day, the team that were not in Mayrig, we managed we decided to come back at 8 a.m. to start to see what happened. Because not only my restaurant was there, my offices, my restaurant, my house, everything is on the same, it's like 5, so everything is gone in 3 seconds. So I went to my mom's house. I just, that night I couldn't even, you know, you don't even think of going to your house because there is no more house. So the second day when the team came up, the rest of the team, we decided to start to see what happened and clean. Around 4 afternoon, we were all hungry. And it was the first time that I think I kind of realized that I am in my restaurant, in Mayrig. Not only I don't have anything to eat, neither my team nor anyone. There was another NGO passing with sandwiches, and my team ate from that sandwiches. And that's the first time that I had kind of tears in my eyes and like, whoa. So I called my chef in Batchig and I told him, tomorrow morning, please send us like 50 sandwiches so that we can continue working, because we were like trying to gather the things that literally were saved, but basically nothing. The
And
second day in the morning,
Aline, out of 85 employees, staff, 25 were hospitalized and not in a condition to come back.
25. 25 were hospitalized, which out of 25, 8 were in critical areas. I had my accountant 3 days in coma, and my financial controller at the first 5 days, he was in ICU.
How are they now, the critical ones, a month later?
Life threat are gone, thank God.
Thank God.
But my financial controller lost his eye for life. My assistant manager lost his eye for life. 3 of my team are half deaf, except me. I mean, like 4. And my accountant lost the use of his right hand, and another one lost 3 fingers. So this is the scars that we will never bring back.
Well, I was listening to one of your video posts on social media about scars, both external and internal. And my concern is, you know, anything that this traumatic, you get post-traumatic, you know, repercussions and consequences in the months leading up to it. And in any case, I'm sorry, yeah, we're just all over the place. But so the next day, you called your chef at Batchig restaurant.
and I asked for like 50 sandwiches. In the morning, I called him because there were a lot of volunteers. I told him, Eli, make it 200 because there were a lot of people coming in and out. In the third day, we started 500. And this is where I met with the World Central Kitchen. And they say, you are doing already sandwiches. Can you do us a little bit more? Can we do things? And they came, and we made Batchig as a community kitchen. You know, like Batchig down there's the restaurant. The second floor, we turn it into the community kitchen. By the way, 30 of my employees lost their homes. So most of them, we had 27 people living in Batchig also. I made a tent at the terrace. Wow. I made a shower so that they don't have a place to go, you know, like everybody lives next to Mayrig, next to Bushamut, next to Marmakhail. So, so this was also Batchig. Everything was like Batchig in Varayagav, you know.
Batchig ure vormasne Beirutin.
Antilias. So it's about 15 minutes from Beirut. So, yeah. Thank God. So with the words and with Chef Jose Andreas, we designed the community kitchen, and we started. And from Sunday, like Tuesday, we got exploded. Sunday, we started to do 2,500 hot meal per day.
Wow.
We had a lot of, our team were all volunteering, and we had a lot of volunteers. People started helping. They knew what we were doing. People starting to help us. So every day since that day, it's been almost a month, 2,500 meal per day. Salads, sandwiches, fruits, and hot meal. So Aline, this is every day.
Aline, congratulations. Your terrace is now open, I think, a couple of days ago last week at Mayrig, which is further testament of your perseverance and to get things back and running. I know that you know, this endeavor of opening Mayrig and Batchig was a dream of your father's to bring that Armenian sort of fusion cuisine to Lebanon. And I know that you learned your cooking from your mother for the most part, and it's a family, driven enterprise that's very dear to you. And it's a story that can relate to many of us Armenians. Even when we dine at Mayrig, and when the check comes at the end in the little pouch with your mom, and you know, the legacy, the generational thing. So I know that, you know, any business is a personal effort, but there's so much family history. And I know that I've read a lot about how, as a woman, you had a lot of challenges in Lebanon, even getting a loan, and you needed to bring a male cousin to qualify for a loan to even start the business. So you're one tough cookie woman, and I think you're proving it right now with all that's going on. And the fact that your terrace is up, and I have no doubt that it's going to be a fully functioning operational restaurant in no time at the rate that you're going. So, you know, they say chapeau, like my hat's off to you for being such an inspiring person through all of this, and lending a voice to the destruction and the despair that's on the ground. You know, Lebanon, I want to talk about that right now. You talked about how so many people were coming and volunteering, and I know you had a lot of Armenian AGBU scouts also volunteering. What is Lebanon has been plagued, as we all know, by civil war, economic decline, corruption, you know, devaluation of currency, inflation, COVID. I mean, it's been a rough year, and to top it off, this. And so,
cherry on the top.
yeah, I mean, and that's a big cherry on the top, a rotten cherry on the top. But, you know, in all my conversations with my friends in Beirut and with my relatives in Beirut, you know, naturally there's a progression of different emotions, you know, shock, sadness, horror. And the one thing that everybody's saying now is despair, right? It's just despair. Like, really? So I want to ask you, at the same time, I'm feeling like there's a lot of beauty, as in the community and the people of Lebanon, of Beirut, coming together during this time and really mobilizing and helping one another, which I think is a beautiful thing. And you see it in video footage and whatnot. What are your thoughts about, number one, what are you witnessing as far as the community and Lebanese society coming together? Give us some information about the Armenian community of Beirut, as far as you know. These are interesting topics for me to see what you're noticing as far as collectiveness and unity.
About the Lebanese community, about the resilience, about the courage, about the entrepreneurship, about the things. It's honestly speaking, we had enough of being courageous and entrepreneur and resilient. But again, Lebanese people are we are used to relying on ourselves, not on the community, not on the government. Even during the explosion, people were helping people. We didn't see any army people. We didn't see any governmental, any help, anything. We cleaned all the building. We brought down all the wounded. So this is, I guess it's a double-sworded thing, because we know that we will do everything, and government know that we will be able to do this, so they don't care. Till now, nobody moved anyway. From the Armenian part, unfortunately, this explosion is very near to the heart of the Armenian community, whether it's the Armenia Street, Mar Mikhail, it's the heart of the old Armenian, nice artistic works. All the shops, 90% of the shops are Armenian. Almost 30 to 40% of the houses are Armenian. We had a lot of Armenian casualties. We had a lot of Armenian wounded and a lot of Armenian businesses. Armenian community are working. AGBU is helping to rebuild the houses. I am working with AGBU also to feed. We are sending around 500 meals per day to the Armenian community, and the scouts are distributing door by door. I've done every Monday. I go with them door by door to the old Armenian old people. It's really, when you see this, it's really heartbreaking, and like you get disgusted and you say nothing is worth it. The dignity of these people, they worked all their life, and now the situation they arrive in is really bad. And I've made some to be able to rebuild Mayrig. I've made a GoFundMe, and a lot of people helped me up. Honestly speaking, I'm very thankful for every single Mayrig lover, because without the help of my friends and Mayrig lovers, I wouldn't be able to open the terrace. I started to work 24 hours day by day, because it's the only way. Two things, it's very important. One is to give a message of hope. Okay, Mayrig today, it's the nearest restaurant on the explosion. It's the most damaged restaurant. Okay. And I managed to open it. Okay, we're opening terrace, and slowly I can come back. Nothing is left inside. The ACs are cracked. Everything. There is nothing. I mean, literally, there's nothing except some wall. Okay, so we've managed to do it because for me, it's very important. First of all, to give the message of hope, to give the clear message that I'm staying and I'm playing and I'm opening. And the second, don't forget that my team, what an employee wants is security, is knowing where he's going. Explosion, as you said, COVID, financial disruption, economic situation, the revolution, the corruption, everything is, you have a lot of already jobless people. Today, one of the major challenge for me is, first of all, my team and the hospitalization of my team. Okay, I hope we can save their eyes, and I don't know their ears, but I have still one hope for my financial control. I hope it will come up. Second is to secure their future, to secure their job, to secure that they're not jobless. So for me, it's very important to be sustainable. Yes, people did help me a lot, and I cannot thank them enough, because without them, I wouldn't be here today. Okay. With this, I have to grab and continue. As I said, I cannot do depression. I cannot sit and cry. I cannot sit and try to understand what happened. For me right now, it's a storm, a huge storm. My aim is to stay alive. Then we'll see what will happen. Right now, I cannot tell you I'm staying, I'm leaving. I cannot tell you what's the strategy, what is my plan.
You're in survival. You're in survival mode. Not only for yourself, but for your team.
Exactly. For me, it's very important to survive and to be able to sustain so that my team can survive. Today, if you can keep your employees, if you can rebuild this, it's a huge step. My first step was my employees. My second step is the terrace. And let's see what's going to happen.
So
we
guys,
also managed to do today the new launch of the GoFundMe for the we called the community table Sawa Blessed. Sawa in Arabic means together.
Okay.
Because unfortunately there is a lot of community that are not accepted by the community, by the people. So whether they are very poor or whether they are LGBT community, whether they are coming to help people and they are no passport, no nothing today. Our aim is to keep those alive. Our aim is to feed them, to secure them, to find them houses, and to do this. So the only way, one of the things that I was saying, inside and outside scars, there is two kinds of scars, one you can see and one you cannot see. There is a huge work that we're taking with our team because we need post-trauma psychotherapy, we need a trauma therapy, because as much as I can explain it to you, I can neither give you the smell, the feeling, the blood, the smell of the blood is everywhere, okay? So there is a lot of work to be done. The road is very long. But one of the things that keeps us going is to give. By doing this community kitchen, by cooking for the rest, by taking this food for the rest, by distributing, you cannot imagine the therapy that we were doing to ourselves.
I can.
You know, food is love, okay? Cooking is giving, and distributing. And imagine my team, the one that were at the hospital coming up with their bandage, with their stars, with their everything. They were here. They were, first of all, started to talk. Second, they were doing something. They were inside the cooking. So they were not here doing nothing and thinking of what happened. So it was a kind of therapy.
You're busy in the moment and not giving you time to like dwell in that sorrow, and you know, it's
You
always like,
digest it slowly. It's not
yeah,
digestible, okay?
but
It just,
helping
you
others,
accept it. Helping others,
is a
it's
powerful
one of
thing.
the most important thing.
Definitely. I mean, you're talking to somebody that, you know, is helping children in rural Armenia,
Exactly.
so it resonates. It resonates. And, you know, I've always said, you know, especially with food, our culture, the Armenian culture, the Lebanese culture, just Middle Eastern and Mediterranean culture is so food based and feeding and feeding. So it is the best way of giving love. Even in our culture, when we don't know what else to say, we say, sit down and eat something. Even when you don't have
Exactly.
anything else to say, just sit and eat. And yeah, that's the best therapy in our culture. So uh, it breaks my heart and a lot of our viewers, obviously, to hear about these older people, the marginalized community that's
Communities.
not receiving the services and the benefits. So, you know, my hat's off to you. You know, we're seeing a lot of hellos and hearts and saying, you know, bravo, Aline. Please put your questions in the chats. And if you have questions for Aline, we will take them. We're going to be online for another 5-10 minutes. So please, if you have any questions, I'll be more than happy to ask Aline. Aline, your GoFundMe campaign, how could people find it and support you who aren't following? And by the way, Aline Kamakian, you can find her on Instagram. But how can, please give us
You
information
have
for
it.
people to support you?
You have it on my Instagram at Aline Kamakian, and you have it at Mayrig at Mayrig
Yeah.
also, and at Batchig Lebanon. We are trying as much as we can because Mayrig is going. Everything Mayrig is going to the hospitalization, to the renovation of the houses of the employees, and the renovation of Mayrig. Everything for the Sawa Blast. It's launched nearly, it's been 2 days only because before that I was doing with me and the World Central Kitchen. I cannot anymore, honestly speaking. I'm drained financially and everything. So GoFundMe will let us to continue because right now we've done a statistic. This situation is at least for 6 months. I don't see anything better. There is nothing strategically from the government, nothing being held. It's only by personal help and NGOs. Nothing is done yet. Only like NGOs like AGBU, NGOs like Baiti. There are a lot of nice, good NGOs that are on the ground working. But at the end, we are not government.
Yeah.
We don't. There is no strategy. Let's put it this way. So in this situation, this catastrophic situation, you have 300,000 people without houses. No way everyone will be able to go to their houses within the 6 months. There are buildings that fell down completely. So these people we are trying to find places for them. So you have a lot of huge damages that is not going to be okay within the 6 months. So you have a lot of, we are planning to feed people to work this community at least for 6 months.
Aline, I know
Yes.
in the aftermath there were protests and rallies, and I don't want to get political now because we're a nonprofit, we're not in that business. I'm curious to see, have the protests winded down, or is there still activity and protest? What's going on?
Protests didn't wind it down. It's becoming very dangerous because they're shooting at the protesters. So we turn it a little bit differently, and we are protesting by law. We are doing a lawsuit against the government. I have 25 lawsuits. Each one of our employees presented a lawsuit against the government. As Mayrig, I had, as myself, I had. Everyone were doing it with the lawyers of Lebanese against the thing. So this is how we're turning a bit, so that we don't have any other losses, because a lot of people, after the explosion on the Saturday, we were also down, and they were shooting on us. So politically, it's a lot of corruption. You know, it takes time to change a rooted, corrupted, happily seated people. So it's not about one day or
look,
two.
I think we can relate as Armenians because obviously there was a lot of corruption and mismanagement in Armenia until the revolution took place 2 years. And Armenia gained its independence in 1991, and we didn't have our revolution until 2018, and we're seeing the changes now. So I'm hopeful that the same thing will eventually take place in Lebanon. Like you said, it takes time, and it requires mass amounts of people to get up and say enough is enough. But anyways, we're not going to get political now. I want to touch upon some questions. We have a question asking, do you see an Armenian exodus? Meaning, do you see a lot of Lebanese Armenians moving to Armenia from Lebanon? I know that there's been a couple of thousand even before the explosion because of the rough, challenging situation in Lebanon. And I know there's been a wave going to Armenia even this last month. What trends are you seeing? Do you find that a lot of the Armenians are just tired and want to leave, whether it's Armenia or somewhere else?
Yes, there's a lot of people, not only Lebanese Armenians, but the majority of Lebanese young generation, they are not seeing their future anymore.
Yeah.
And the thing is, I was explaining the other time, I arrived to Lebanon, my grandfathers arrived out of the genocide, and then they built, everything went down. My father came, he built twice, everything went down. I came, it's my second time I'm rebuilding, everything is going down. So if you see the story or the history, enough is enough, If I'm gonna rebuild the common ways, if I'm gonna rebuild, let me rebuild it outside. Whether Armenian has the luxury of having another passport, which is the Armenian passport, and this is why they're coming. The one who has a European passport is not coming to Armenia, is trying Europe or the States. Okay, but there's a lot of Armenians are thinking of coming and trying to come back, and this is what they're doing. But again, unfortunately, their money is stuck in the bank. So if they want to come to Armenia, it's going to be very difficult for them without any basics.
Yeah, because a lot of my friends who have dual passports and citizenship, they want to go to Armenia, but like you said, okay, they came to Armenia. And I think it's commendable that Armenia is opening its doors to its nation, overseas, whether in Syria or Lebanon or Iraq, these kinds of countries. But once you arrive there, what are you going to do without funds? If your bank accounts are frozen. I mean, I don't think Armenian government is in a position to give free housing and free, unlimited benefits. But at least your life is safe from harm. I'm going to take some more questions. We have a question here. Aline, you are such a brave woman and an inspiration to all. What you have done in the past month is beyond amazing. All my respect to you. Beirut can only rise with the efforts of people like you. Okay, so it's more of a declaration. We have another question from Eric. Aside from donations, how can us in the U.S. help with your efforts?
Well, you can spread about us, you can talk about us, you can put light on us, because we need a lot of people to talk about it. And if it's not me, it's not you, it's not someone else will be helping. Because right now there is two things. There is a financial need. It's very crucial, especially that everything in Lebanon is imported, okay? And we don't have any matière première, neither glasses, nor aluminum, nor nothing, nor wood, nor nothing. So everything is imported. That means everything is in dollar. Lebanon does not have, Lebanese people does not have any more dollars, because everything is either trapped in the bank or stolen. So one major thing that we are suffering is the fluctuation of the Lebanese pound versus dollar, and everything is cash. There is no more credit card or bank or anything. Everything is cash. So this is why the GoFundMe helps a lot, because what we do is transfer to Lebanon and take it cash. This is the nice thing about GoFundMe. So you can, thank you very much of asking, thank you very much of thinking of us. You can support us by telling our story. You can support us by guiding us. If you have an idea, please do. if we can do something. We are thinking also of doing a website, exporting our products, that the one that can be exported, so online shopping. I am doing online YouTube Armenian cuisine also, that can spread the Armenian. This is, I started in the COVID. The whole idea is to spread again the Armenian cuisine. So this is what we're doing. And if you can talk to us, if you can send us your nice words, it is really helping, because with your words, this is our essence. This is our thing to be able to continue.
I would say, you know, love, support, encouragement, raise awareness. Guys, I keep seeing these like taglines on social media. Remember Beirut. Let's not forget a month out what the country has gone through and what it's going through. It's not about the couple of days, you know, right after the explosion. It's we have to keep raising awareness. And remember, this is a long road ahead for these people. There's some questions here about, does the government want to help? I mean, I think Aline addressed the question and the situation here. It's clear that there has not been a lot of support. So
they don't exist right now.
Unfortunately, we will be proud of telling people about you. Aline is another message.
Thank
awesome. You. We will spread the word. Thank you.
Aline, I put my glasses because I cannot see. I have to read the question.
That's why I'm helping you, my love. Aline, how's the location Mayrig in Yerevan? Is it fully functioning during the pandemic? Or is the outdoor section functioning? I'm so cut off because I was supposed to go to Yerevan in April. Obviously, there was a huge lockdown. What's the status with the location in Yerevan?
First of all, Yerevan is franchising. Okay, it's not mine. Just for you to know, because you said that I haven't. Okay. Yeah, the location during the COVID, we were open only the terrace, but right now is I think it's everything is open with 50 with all the norms to take the 50%, the social distancing, the mask, the temperature, and everything. So, so this is what we're doing in Yerevan.
Okay, great. Guys, let me reiterate, we're about to end, so if you have any last questions, now would be a time. Aline, how much have you raised so far through the GoFundMe?
Through Mayrig, we raised around $74,000. Our aim is to raise $200,000.
Okay.
Through Sawa, we just started it. We've put the aim to 25,000. 25,000 means around 10,000 meal. Okay, so every meal is costing around, if you want to do it, the calculation is costing around $2.50. So every $2.50 is giving to one hot meal. The hot meal is always equilibrium, meat, fish, chicken, vegetarian. It's around, it's a full vitamins of the day, not of the lunch, of the day, because 90% of people will continue having it at night. It's a full meal. Wow. So this is what we call it. It's all equilibrium of all the vitamins that you need. It's not like aman pamadama uden. No, it's something. It's very tasty. We eat it, and we when we cook, this is our lunch also. So
guys, please consider supporting this important cause project. You know, Lebanon is not a country with insurance benefits and things like this. You lose everything, you lose everything. And so Aline is doing, as we said, an amazing job, not only in trying to revive her business, but obviously at the same time helping those in need, whether it's her team, you know, and her staff, or these people that are most vulnerable, that are literally hungry, as you can hear, are eating the same meal that she's providing, you know, for lunch and dinner in most cases. So, Aline, my hat's off to you. You know, a lot of people are saying, well, spread the word. You are amazing, Aline. I thank you for taking the time to join us. We felt very importantly, you're such a dear friend of Co-Of's, and we wanted you to have a voice and to share with people what's going on in Beirut. And I thank you for joining us today, and I wish you all the best in everything that you're trying to achieve and everything that you're doing. Sending you lots of love, and I can't wait for things to come back to a normal situation where I'm sitting there in Beirut on your terrace or in
Waiting
Yerevan
for you.
and having a drink with you. And so I'm sending you a lot of love, and we're behind you.
Thank you.
Any last words you want to say?
For everyone who's listening to me or to us, thank you for all your effort. Thank you for the love of Mayrig, because honestly, it's your love that is keeping me going and going and going. Me and my team, we thank you from all our heart. Thank you very much.
Thank you. All right, sending lots of big butt cheeks.
Ciao,
Okay,
ciao.
Aline, take care. Be strong.
Bye-bye.